All right, welcome everybody to the show. Boy, am I excited today. Boy, have I got a banger show for you guys today. Unbelievable. It's going to be phenomenal, trust me. All right. So, always something new and fresh and awesome in every show that we produce here. Okay, so welcome everybody to this exciting stream where we have one of my intelligent subscribers who recently shared his deep thoughts for everyone to participate in. So please participate in that comment thread. So he just proved his strength and vigilance with the following comments, which I'm going to share with everybody. We've known each other for about 12 years on and off, and he's such a great guy. Highly encourage you to go to his channel. You'll see who he is because he doesn't mind. Really awesome, very awake individual, very open-minded. So I want to give him some praise today for participating recently. I mean, really participating. He wasn't just like, hey, good stream, bye. No. You're going to see. Really great words, and I really appreciate his participation. So, without further ado, the James Bond theme is because his username is Bond. James Bond. That's right. So, Bond 1995 1. Thank you so much for participating and supporting this channel. I truly appreciate it because from this point forward, it's my viewers' comments that's going to be the main catalyst, the main fuel source. All right, so let's take a look at his wise words here. Sadly, this is the norm in modern Western society, most importantly America. A life where people are miserable and can never get out of their situation. Worse, can't afford anything and see no way out. The current way things are going is not sustainable. Very facts. There's pure facts. From the economy, endless wars, to destroying the nuclear family. Very important right there. Many people don't even realize that. Everybody's just out for themselves, all selfish, and oh my goodness, just destroying families left and right. Worse, making porn and everything else negative, free to destroy relationships. Now, it's not a disagreement, it's just a different viewpoint. I consider porn as a tool. That's why I promote porn, but that's it. It's just a tool. It's not to be obsessive compulsive over, and you're not supposed to use it as a substitute for a relationship. If you're alone and you want something to get excited about, go ahead and use pornography. If you're with someone in a relationship, go ahead and check out some pornography. It's highly erotic, but that's it. It's just a tool. It's not meant to rule your life. Now it's a disorder, right? It's an obsession. All right. And everything else negative, free to destroy relationships. I am glad now people are waking up across the board. Well, yeah, hopefully more. That's always the answer. Yeah, I mean, he's just as optimistic as I am, but hopefully we're right. Hopefully. But more must be done to restore sanity and create a healthy, where people, I guess, healthier people will have relationships again and have kids. Yeah, that's a healthy thing to do. You know, just as things once were in the black and white days, right? Have a family, enjoy life, but with all the crazy distractions today and brainwashing, mass manipulation on every level you can imagine possible, propaganda left and right, I mean, now you have to have a mind of your own, intelligence of your own. You can't rely on almost anybody. You can rely on us too. A lot has to be done. Have you heard how the suicide rates, I have to be careful with that word, around late millennials and Generation Z is high now? And yes. Also, veterans, that's always been high. A lot of reasons for people to take their own lives, unfortunately. Not good reasons, because they didn't get the help that they needed. So another one bites the dust. That's just a sad story behind it. Either they have somebody that's going to help them save their lives, or they're unfortunate. And sadly, that's mostly the case, because nobody cares about anybody anymore. Imagine asking for people to leave comments on a channel so important like this. I shouldn't even have to ask. You should want to leave comments like what Bond is doing here with all of his heart and soul. we got to do to save, let's see. Yeah, save the youth and end this terrible cycle. That's what we got to do, he's saying. And give hope to people who have none. Not trying to be Mr. Negative. No, that's very real. It's very real. I tried my part in the field of social work. That's interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. Social work. Yeah. All right, so let's see. 2 more here. Apathy is everywhere. That apathy, for those who don't know, is that you just don't care. You don't have feelings about anything. You don't care. You're passive. You're emotionless, like we described with the Ice Queens. You just don't care about anything. And it's hurting a lot of things. The world must change for the better. Absolutely. I mean, if humans stop caring, guess what? We fall on our own sword. We created the chaos that we ultimately fell for and lost everything. But people, yeah, they're far too distracted. Who cares, right? I mean, like I said, I have to ask people to actually leave comments on this important channel. That's just sad. You know, it has nothing to do with the quality that I'm presenting, because this is top-notch quality in my humble opinion. So the next comment here, yes, don't date disrespectful women. Absolutely. That's what we were talking about, the Ice Queens. It is disrespectful. It's pathetic. Ice Queens. Who would want to date an Ice Queen? If you know they're an Ice Queen, then stay away from them. I don't care how pretty they look. What's underneath the hood, right? What kind of heart do they have? What kind of emotions do they have? They can be a living nightmare for you. I hope the looks were worth it. That's all I have to say to you, buddy. All right, so Bond continues. I refuse to lower my standards, and this is what I based this stream off of, these last 2 comments here. So thank you so much for encouraging. You like that spark. I was like, ooh, this is a great topic. I refuse to lower my standards just like Western women do. They want a dude that is 6'5" and makes millions. That's what I always say, the 666, right? 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, 6 feet tall. 666 can't be good, right? It's not realistic. It's not polite, because what if we went up to women the same way? Well, I want you to be these 3 things. Well, they should be realistic. Not things that you can't help, like your height and how fortunate you may be in your life. Your job can be taken away from you at any moment, so... I don't want any single mom who has behavioral, or mental health issues. Exactly. Trust me, I have to work with such individuals, but dating them? Yeah, no. I understand you. I feel your pain. It's lots of single moms out there running rampant. I mean, they're desperate. They're losing their minds. They have been for a long time. It's given women a really bad image. Trust me, yes, it continues to go out there. Single dads as well, but they're not the vocal type. You know, they're more suffer in silence. All right, so last comment from Bond, James Bond. Actually, well, Esteban Bond. My standards is that I refuse to date single moms with behavioral and mental health conditions. I have run into many of them in my line of work. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he is telling us more about his work. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. And I refuse to date them outside of work. It's not my job to fix the issues, most, not all, but most brought on themselves. Okay, I know what you're saying. That also includes OnlyFans models. Here's my opinion on OnlyFans, whether you're a male or female, a man or a woman. If you want to do OnlyFans, kudos. Now, if you're with somebody in a relationship, well, you guys both have to agree to that. I mean, it's money, so who cares, right? As long as you don't have a relationship offline with any of your fans. I mean, not even talk to them if you're in a relationship. But if you're single, go ahead. Hey, you gotta survive, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for freedom. I mean, there's no shame in it. And even prostitution, look, if you have to learn the hard way that that's not a good profession, I'm not going to say don't do it. I mean, you have the freedom to do so. Well, not really in illegal parts of the world, but there's many legal parts of the world where they do support prostitution. It's regulated. Whatever. There's a lot of arguments over that, but in the end, it comes down to freedom of choice, right? Do you have freedom to do whatever you want? Is my body, my choice? OnlyFans and prostitution, pornography videos. Hey, do what you want with that. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm going to advise you that it's not really a good idea, but there's other ways of making money that are much more honorable. But hey, to each their own. You know, only if you're involved in a relationship, I would say OnlyFans could be a major problem. But if you guys both agree with it and say, hey, it's easy money, look, that's your guys' decision. All right. So, and women that want dudes that are 6'5" or 7, that's just, why would you want somebody that tall? You know how hard it is to do chores around the house? Like, I'm 6 foot, and I think I'm too tall. You know, I mean, like, my soulmate, you know, she's a shorty, right? So she can do everything around me, and I'm like, yeah, you can do some things that I feel more uncomfortable doing. But I mean, I could do squats and deadlifts and everything. I could do the splits. I'm a martial artist for 30 years. I mean, look, I have flexibility, but you know, we do have a longer spine. Let's just leave it at that. Like bending a little bit to do dishes, you know, it's just kind of like, after a while, you know, the back starts to ache a little bit. Got to take a break here and there. I mean, it's too much time standing, too much time moving. Taller people, they kind of suffer more than shorter people because you guys have it a lot more efficient. I'll leave it at that. As if somehow men or human beings in general can control how tall or short they will be. Absolutely. We can't control that, right? So, I mean, why ask for it? Oh, I want somebody who's tall. Okay, you got somebody who's tall. You got the fit body too. Well, I hope you're fit also. Because, I mean, it's just like asking for a woman to be a virgin and be like, yeah, I need a virgin to get married to. Are you a virgin? Oh, it's kind of like that the other way around. It doesn't go two ways, does it? Asking for a guy who's a virgin. It's so crooked the way the world is. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the topic. Thank you so much, Bond, for your contribution. My advice for single moms out there: if you've been burnt once, divorced, broken up, now you're stuck with one child or more, all right, well, let's fix this situation. I mean, you better work hard for your child. That's number one. I mean, if you're on government assistance for a while, I understand, but get yourself a job. Something that you can see yourself doing for a long time. Because until you find a partner to help you out with the expenses, we're going to go over that. It's going to be a rough ride. It doesn't matter what happened. What matters is that you're here right now. So prove to yourself and to your children or your kid that you truly love them. Learn to be a strong, independent woman, not bossy, not rude, and out of control emotionally and mentally, as Bond was just describing. Be a warrior who stands for love. And I mean that, because that's like the number one mistake that all these single women, you know, they make when they try to go into a new relationship. They want to have the upper hand because they fear getting burnt again for the same reasons. Well, go watch my live stream called Groundhogging in article reviews in that playlist. Go watch that one, because if you're going to be making the same mistakes again, choosing the wrong person, the wrong potential soulmate, the wrong man for you, that's your fault once again. Strike two, right? And there is no strike 3 or 4 or 5. You're just going to be making the same mistakes over and over because you don't know any better. So chill out. First of all, secure yourself economically and learn how to support yourself, because that's the card that you've been dealt one way or another. That's reality. Get over it. I know it's hard being a mom, but hey, sometimes owning a pet is just as responsible, right? You got to feed the pet, clean the pet, but children are a lot more, needy, obviously. Humans are a lot more complex compared to pets. So, yeah. I mean, if you're going to stress over that, you have to learn how to be a responsible, mature mother. Because I'll guarantee you that no man out there wants an immature mother who's desperate to snatch their wallet and start paying for things, and that's the only thing that they're good for. That to me is just despicable and dishonorable. Just like a guy who just wants to get with a woman just to get in her pants. Well, you want to get in their pants for their wallet. That's just, you see where I'm going? Number 2, piece of advice for single moms out there. Your mental and emotional and physical baggage. That's right. That's what you are bringing into the new relationship. Like it or not. You're bringing your son or children along with yourself into the relationship. Normally, there's just one baggage claim. But obviously, you have more. So consider that. So have lots of consideration for your new partner. They are not responsible for your past experiences. You're not going to go into a new relationship and be like, take care of my child and my children. You're obligated to do so. Excuse me? You have to be prepared for a guy who maybe can't afford to take care of your children or your child. Or take care of you also, if you're in that such a position. That's why I said, establish your independence first. Get yourself independent and self-sustaining. Otherwise, why are you even looking for somebody else? Like I said, I hope you're not looking for the monetary benefits, because that's the wrong answer. Now you're going to go into a relationship that you're not even in love with the person. You just, oh, you have a good profession that can afford to fund my kids. No, that's not the way we live life. Because that's just borderline theft right there. That is just so immoral on so many levels. So you have baggage, like it or not. So obviously you're going to have a disadvantage in the dating scene, right? How many men are going to want to go out with you because you have a kid? Now, I'm not saying that there's not men who want to go out with you because you have a kid, or 2, or 3, or 4. There are guys who would love it because they're like, oh, wow, we could just fast forward through the having kids phase. You already have kids. Maybe he does want a lot of kids, or maybe a kid to consider his own. There's lots of generous men out there. But don't go breaking their hearts by saying that you're in love with them when you're not. You're trying to act like you really like this guy, and in the end, you have your agenda, your scheme that you need to accomplish. That because now you're going to break the guy's heart, because men can detect that. Real men, not these immature males. You know, real men can sense when they're not being loved genuinely. And that's where the baggage starts to really weigh. And reality starts to set in. Wait a minute. Is she just using me? Is that what this is? Because there's so many. I even coached a captain on an air base last year. A captain. And he was telling me, because he was like, oh, you're a life coach. I was surprised. I was like, oh, you want to have a session right here, right now? And we did. We did. And we talked about his problems. And he just recently met somebody who recently broke up. Hasn't even got the divorce yet. And she has a child. And then so he was giving me all the details, and I said, you know what? It sounds like she's desperate. Because it doesn't sound like she doesn't even mention you. She doesn't say goodbye to you or thank you. I mean, the way you're describing it, you can't be desperate in this situation. You have to move on. I know she's attractive and everything, but this is not enough. No, this is clearly, she's doing it for her child. And what the worst part is, this captain even told me. Like, clear red flags, and he agreed 100% with me. He's like, yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, can you try to tell me otherwise? All the signs are there that she's just in it to support her kid in a desperate situation. What she has to do is separate herself from the dating world, at least for half a year. Oh my goodness. Or longer. And then maybe think about coming back into the dating world when she's ready. When she established her independence, when she realizes that now she has a disadvantage in the dating scene. Seriously, people, have some consideration for others who have nothing to do with your previous experiences. Look, it's time for a new start. This is my third piece of advice for single women out there, single moms. It's time to start completely fresh. Don't stress out your new partner over things they had nothing to do with in your past. Give you and your partner a clean slate, a new, optimistic, enthusiastic attitude. Understand? Because that's what's going to be required, that energy, and then your man is going to, your new potential partner, they're going to have to sense that. I'm dealing with a stable woman. She has her own income. She accepts her child or children as her own responsibility. She's not asking me to be daddy, to be their dad, because that's never going to happen. Even when people adopt a child, you can call yourself the father all you want, but in reality, you know what happens to the majority of adopted children? Wait for it. You're not my dad. Why should I listen to you anyways? It always happens. And hopefully they forgive each other and move on and just, you know what? I guess you are my dad, and learn the hard way. Their new dad. But you'll never be their biological father. So that's gonna weigh on your shoulders when it's time to discipline those kids as a father figure. So it's already a bad situation when a family breaks up for whatever reason. Could be good or bad, or just, your partner died and now you need a new one and you're stuck with your kid or kids. Look, I get it. But you have to realize the weight on the shoulders that you're trying to put on somebody else. No, you need to bear that weight for yourself. Even if you're a single dad, by the way. Which they tend to bear the weight by themselves. And hopefully, they can bring a new woman into their lives. But it kind of works out better for the males compared to the single moms because the moms are more desperate. It's understandable, but it's highly off-putting. Like what Bond was talking about. Nobody wants to go out with a single mom who is desperate for help. Nobody. All right, so advice piece number 4. Be a strong woman. Set a healthy example for your child or children. Eat healthy food. Work out daily. I mean, you got to have your rest days. Maybe 1 or 2 rest days. But you better build your confidence by strengthening your mind, body, and emotions. Even if it's just 10 minutes of exercise a day. I don't care. Work towards that goal because you have to be attractive. Nobody's going to want an overweight or obese single mom. Get that out of your head. Fat is not the new beautiful. It never will be. Men go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over a fit body, a decently fit body at least. Okay? So don't be going like, oh, it's time for me to find a man, and you're just like this fat person. This overweight person, this mess. You know you're not doing any exercise or enough exercise. So how do you expect to attract a man? And guess what kind of males you're going to be attracting? Because they're not going to be real men. Desperate males who are going to do more harm than good. Maybe they'll say, oh yeah, I'll be your baby's daddy. I can take care of them financially. And then they'll treat you like trash. And you're going to say, oh, it's worth it because at least he's taking care of my kids. Seriously? So you're going to lower your standards for desperate males, and you're going to be a desperate female and not step up to the plate as a real, strong, independent, thoughtful, considerate woman. Seriously. So get your butt into shape. Literally. The glutes are the biggest muscles in the body. Get yourself into shape, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Physical strength will manifest into mental and emotional strength. Trust me. That's why I'm a martial artist for 30 years experience. So, I can't stress that enough. Let us go ahead and move on to my favorite piece of advice for single women out there, single mothers. All right, so pointer number 5, tip number 5. Above all, be the most sexy, passionate woman you never thought you could be. You have any idea the level of competition that's out there, sweetheart? And you have a kid or children, the baggage. It's not impossible. But like I said, if you're overweight and your attitude is out the window, there is nothing sexual about you, nothing feminine, you better stop that woke trash as well. If you're woke, if you're trying to push that, feminism and the patriarchy, get lost. I don't even want to see your face. And I would never recommend you to any real man out there if you have attitude problems. If you have issues with PTSD, go fix that garbage. Go fix it. Because guess what? You're going to bring that trash to a man who never deserved it. And now you're wasting his time, his life, with your nonsense. So if you're political, negatively emotional, and your mind is just all over the place, and you don't know what you really want in life, and there's nothing sexy about you, mentally, emotionally, or physically, get lost. You're not ready yet. You need to fix yourself first. All right? This is not sexist. This is reality. You have to be hard on these types of females because they're not ready to be women, real women. And I make that distinction. There's males, foolish ones, immature ones, and the same applies to females. If you're ready to step up to the plate and be a real man, you better be intelligent, or a woman, intelligent, wise, highly sexual, highly physically fit as best as you can, mentally and emotionally stable. Otherwise, you have nothing to offer the world. That's why I say, like Bond, he has the courage to drop comments in the comment section or in the chat. That's a real man right there. Everybody else who's silent, shame on you. Shame on you for not caring about the most important topic in the world, which is love. There's no passion in you. You're not ready to be called a man or a woman if you're too afraid to to communicate with others on a mission to better this world. Seriously. I mean, it's just pathetic. Call yourself a human being when you don't even want to help any cause. I mean, it's easy to donate money to charities. Anybody can do that, throw money at the problem. But can you stand up? Do you have a voice? All right. So seriously, otherwise you'll never secure a lifelong soulmate relationship if you're not sexy, okay? Single moms out there, dress sexy, act sexy. Don't fake it. You have to learn how to be it. Be sexy. All right? Discover the unlimited power of sexuality. Especially, this is where the females have the advantage. Women, actually. Women have the advantage with their sexuality. You can attract males and females, for crying out loud, with the power of your sexuality. A guy, on the reverse side of the coin, you know, he has to have a killer body, a killer income, all these other external factors just to attract one of those ice queens out there. Or maybe they're just queenie. They act like queens, but they're not icy. They're very expressive, but they're all over the place. These are like superficial things, but when it comes to you right now in your situation with one child or more children, you have to be better than even the young ones out there. But here's your advantage. You're supposed to be mature because of your age. Hopefully that's working out for you. Because if you're immature, still acting like an 18-year-old, it's not going to work out for you. Maturity, intelligence, wisdom, and have some type of sexiness to you, for crying out loud. All right. Getting really serious here. Because there's just so much garbage out there with males and females. You know, pretending like they're so great when they're not. It just oozes out the fact that they're not. They're pretenders. Even losers. Because they're losing out on the most important thing in life. If you're not crazy about the topic of love, you're a loser. You're not alive. You're the Walking Dead. You're the zombie. I hope some life gets into you soon. Shoot. So, for all of you single moms out there, don't worry. There's still time. Time to live the best life you never thought existed. So, my next recommendation, which will be watch my 1-hour video course. Absolutely. To be 100% sure that you'll be ready and successful in your next relationship. If you're planning on finding a lifelong soulmate, perfect soulmate. So, it's up to you to decide who is the next candidate, but you have to be everything that you're seeking. So if you want a generous, calm, emotionally and mentally stable man, you're going to have to be mentally and emotionally stable. You're going to have to be calm and wise and intelligent. So don't go looking for something that you're not, because they're going to want to expect, a real man is going to expect the same thing from you. Vice versa. Okay? Very important that I say that. All right. So, I mean, because, otherwise it's all up to you to get your mind and spirit in order. Your thoughts must be positive, wise, and intelligent, while your emotions must be under control and overflowing with inner strength. So that's all I got to say. Let me go ahead and check the chat. See if there's any sign of intelligent life out there. And thank you so much to Mr. Bond, Esteban Bond, for contributing your comments. It was a fantastic stream, I believe. All right, so we're good to go. And like I said, I really appreciate the comments, and that's going to be what fuels the show. And I do have an announcement to make. Might as well just make it right here, and also in the community tab, that my book, printed version of my book, is no longer going to be available and no longer going to be in stores. The 50% off. I'll be chatting about that in the community tab as well. So new links are going to be presented for the new location, for everything, and I'll also give you a reason why. Because I'm just thoughtful like that. So single moms out there, good luck to you all. Hopefully you'll make the wise decisions and better yourself as a person, because for some reason that relationship failed, whether it's your fault or not. The point is that, your life isn't over just because you think you're stuck with the kid. Look, your child or children are going to grow up and do whatever they want anyways. Just know that. You could be the most giving mother ever. The most generous, loving, spoiling mom you can imagine. And your child may still betray you. might even just ghost you completely. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. There's mothers out there who give what many children out there wish they would have, and they still lose their children to brainwashing from bad influences. Really bad influences. Their friends are garbage, so they become garbage. And you know what? You as a mother, it doesn't matter anything you do. Sometimes that possibility exists where your child turns to the dark side. There's nothing you can do. So I hope that doesn't happen to you if it hasn't happened yet, because it's happening at an alarming rate with many parents out there where children have everything they could possibly imagine. They're spoiled beyond belief, and they still end up hating their mother for no reason. Absolutely no reason at all. This happens. So if it hasn't happened to you, please just enjoy the time with your child or your children. Please just really enjoy it, because it's going to mean everything for you in the future. Those memories, those unforgettable memories. And if it does happen to you, if your child turns to the dark side or your children turn to the dark side, just remember the good times, all right? Just the good times. And with that said, best wishes to everybody watching post-stream. And much love to everybody. Till next time, please drop your comments down below, and you could be the star of the next show.